Hi and welcome to another segment of troubleshooting on the Jura X9s that you see in front of me. Sometimes what we're going to do is go over what's called the milk apparatus, which is this area, which is just in behind the coffee spout here. Now, imperative that you know how to take this off and have a look internally for because you might every now and again get some blockages and things like that. So I'll just go ahead and show you how to take that off. The coffee spout here, as you know, is the spout that goes up and down. You have a look at the top here, just inside. If you put your finger on the top here, push that little clip, pull that towards you, and the coffee spout just comes off like so. Put that over to the side. Now, as you can see, this is what's called the milk apparatus, this whole section here. Now, all this is to do with your coffee delivery and your milk delivery. Now, sometimes with this particular outlet, milk, you might get a little milk blockage or something like that, where your milk's not coming out, or your milk's not hot and frothy. But I will go over the milk apparatus settings now. Just on the right-hand side here, you have, see this angle that pokes out? You've got this little tip on the end, which is called an air suction or breather tip. Now, if your milk is not hot or frothy and steamy, probably best to change this and rinse this under hot water. To get that off, I'll just maneuver that there, and as you can see, it's just a little black piece, and that's all it is here. So what you're going to do is, it comes off as a complete section. Just run that onto hot water, and well, very hot water, and that will probably just unblock any particles that are in there. I'll just, to replace that, just put that back on again on that out on the end, and then just kind of push that so it clicks into place, like so. That's if your coffees or your milk part of the coffee is not hot or frothy. Now, the rest of this milk apparatus here, it looks scary, but it's not. It's what's called the milk apparatus again. Now, if this whole section here, if I just grab my fingers and just pull that towards me, okay. Now, I didn't put too much force on that. That just kind of comes off, and as you can see, if you just leave that, it'll just kind of hang there via the tubes, the milk tubes here. When you're doing the milk line clean at the end of the day, that's what you're clearing out, is all these milk tubes and all in the back here. That gives you nice, hot, fresh, clean milk. If that doesn't get done, the chances are that you might actually get blockages in this system. Now, every now and again, you might need to actually take this cap off and do this. I'll just get rid of that. That's just the coffee spout that hangs on the top. This is the milk apparatus here. As you can see, these two milk tubes here, you'll have to at some point possibly take these off and give them a rinse out. Now, to do that, just pull that whole thing towards you and unclip those off what's called the bayonets, which attach to the milk tubes. These milk tubes here now will just kind of sit there. Now, you can actually get these, and they feed around and then back out to the side of the coffee machine over on this side over here. And what you can do is pull them off and take them off and then rinse them under hot water. You will see if there's any blockages here, because it will be very visible just on the ends. They're the milk tubes. Now, attached to the milk tubes is these particular things here. This is your white bayonet and black bayonet. These here again, they can just be pulled off like so, and then that's basically the shaft. Sometimes inside that will end up with a milk blockage as well. The best way to see if there's a blockage in that is to hold it up to the light and then just see if you can see straight through. If you can see sunlight, obviously it's not blocked. To replace that, just physically push that back onto that black section there again. I won't take the black one off because that's just exactly the same. The other area where you might end up with little blockages is just on the top of that hole of the white bayonet. You've got this little right angled piece here. Now, that's actually called a steamer cap. Now, as you can see, it kind of comes out here, it comes down, and it's got that big red O-ring on it there. And underneath that, you've got a little hole. Sometimes you might get a little blockage in there. If you just get a little pin or something in there, just to kind of maneuver that around, and rinse that onto hot water again. All this can be put under hot water. There's no problems whatsoever, or even in dishwashers. It's dishwasher safe. To replace this now, just back on the top, I'll get the right angle, click that in like so. Now, to replace that whole section, just kind of one at a time, feed that back onto the milk tube like so, put the other left one back on, Now that whole thing just kind of slides on, and then there's two, if you have a look here, just on the machine itself, you've got two little outlets that have little O-rings on them. This front section kind of basically just hooks onto there, and if you just push that towards the machine so it sits nice and tight, just make sure that the breather tip's in. The coffee spout here just sits in the center. Just kind of throw that over the top there, squeeze them down so it all kind of locks into place. And as I said, I haven't used any force really in that. Come over and get your coffee spout. That just kind of goes into the front here. And if you push towards the back and hear a bit of a click, that's in like so. It comes back to coffee ready, or comes back to all your coffees here ready for drinking. So hope that helps.